Okay, so I don't really have a studio to work in, so I'm going to try to put together a video that has my sound speaking as well as music playing. I'm going to start the music, and I'm going to be speaking while the music is playing in the background. Hopefully the volume is loud enough, and then what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to separate the sound from the speaking sound from the music into two separate channels so that we can replicate what you are trying to do. So step one is to try to create this. All right, I think we have enough of a video clip here, so I'm going to stop the music and I'm going to stop the talking and stop the video. So it's very hard for me to actually set up exactly what you have, and there is actually a much better brand new tool within Filmora than doing what you said you're currently doing. You use OBS 13, and a fellow YouTuber helped you set up separate channels for your voice as opposed to your background music. So I'm going to pretend that I have the two channels, which I don't at this point, and I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. Okay, so actually it looks like I cut off the front part of this little demo thing that I'm going to play here. This is where I created a track with music behind me while I'm talking. So I'm going to copy it because all right, I'll just copy it. So I have two exactly the same. Okay, so now I have two exactly the same tracks. I cut off the beginning of it. So anyway, so here's your two tracks, and let's just assume that track 2 is the one that has your voice on it, and track 1 is the one that has the music on it. So the easiest way to do this would have been to just select your voice track and go to the audio section. And you would come here, and I apologize. Sometimes a lot of people who use Filmora, they're using the default setup, in which case all of your instructions are over here. Okay, I just happen to like the classic because I've been using Filmora for such a long time. So my screen layout is slightly different than yours. However, all of the same buttons and everything is available in either display mode. So if this is confusing to you, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so we're going to go in here and we're going to go to the audio section. And if we scroll down, by the way, the other posters suggest that you use auto normalization. Auto normalization is just like if you have a series of music clips that you're adding to your video, and some are loud and some are soft or whatever. Normalization kind of balances them all out so you have the same volume level, highs and lows. That isn't going to really help in your in your current situation. However, there is another way that it might quickly work for you, and it's called audio ducking. Audio ducking means that whatever, when you activate audio ducking, and I want you to look here at, I'm selected track 2. I want you to look very carefully at what happens here to track 1 when I switch it on and off. You'll notice that there is a difference in the volume on track 1 when I switch it on in track 2. Audio ducking means that any other audio channels that are on the project line will automatically be lowered by a certain volume. And that, in this case, the default is 50%. And you could make it like 100%, so in which case you wouldn't hear track 1 at all. And you'll notice if you take a look at the bottom track there, as I scroll it back, it gets restored to its default level here. So we'll just set it back to 50%. So actually, this is the only thing that you probably would have needed to do, is just to activate audio ducking on your voice channel. That would have lowered the music volume, and your voice would have been louder and the music would have been lower. And the other thing you could do is also just simply grab the the audio line and move it up and down, and you can see that increases and decreases your volume. Likewise, of course, you could just adjust the volume up here. Okay, you can see that we're normally here, but you could adjust the volume here. So that's another way that you could do that. Basically, that's all you would have needed to do. Now, just a tip here, it's not really a good idea to have two video clips, even though they're identical, because it's going to require a lot more of your computer's processor. And if you're not using the GPU because you don't have the right video card, then you're just overloading yourself with unnecessary media data. So a better option would actually be to detach the audio from the video and then delete at least one of the videos. So like in this case, we're going to say that your music was on track 1. So if we right click on the music track and then we go up here and we go to detach audio right there, Control Alt Delete, or just right click detach audio, you'll see that the audio track has now been removed from the video track, and we can get we can get rid of this video track. We don't need it. It's not going to be shown anyway. In fact, we could even right click over here and delete empty tracks. Okay, so now we have our voice video here and we have our music here. And I asked you in the other post to at least test out that you had the you had actually music on one track and audio or your voice audio on the other track. If in fact you did what I suggested and you played it and you heard the same thing when you muted the one versus the other, then indeed you were just loading the same track up, and that's why you weren't hearing the background music. Now, all that aside, okay, so this is the way I would do it. I would get rid of the extra video by detaching the audio from it and then deleting it and then just having the one video track. Okay, all that aside, let's start from step 1 and do something totally different than your YouTuber suggested in the OBS, because Filmora has a new feature and it's only visible in one location. It's only visible if you select the clip that you want to work with and you right click on it, and it's got this new really funky AI vocal remover. So what you can do is you can take any song and you can process it through this vocal remover, and you will separate the vocals from the actual instrumentals. Okay. And I don't know what background music you have, but if you have background music that has vocals in it, then this probably wouldn't work for you. But if you need to record your videos with both the music and your voice vocal at the same time, and it's just instrumental background, then this could be a really cool tool for you to use. What you do is you go into this vocal remover here, and it takes a little time for it to process, depending on what kind of GPU you have, or I'm sorry, CPU and memory and so forth. Okay, this time it's actually processing fairly fast for me, so I'm just going to let it run. I was going to save it. But look at this. Boom. We now have two audio tracks generated from the one video track. And we could actually, we'll silence the original. And what we will hear when we play back here is we will hear the audio, the voice on the one side, which is actually this track right here, and the music is down here. And at this point, we can't actually apply audio ducking to this channel here. If we do, it doesn't really do anything to the music track that's down below. So this is the voice, and this is the music. And if I select this and I apply the audio ducking, it raised this volume, but it didn't really lower that. So if you were going to do it this way and you needed to adjust it, then the thing to do would be to then detach this audio, detach it, and you see it got plopped down here on track 3, and then delete it. Now you have a voice and you have a background music here. And in fact, they even appear up here in your original. Now you have options for applying audio ducking, or if you just wanted to lower your music volume, you could do it here, or if you wanted to increase your other volume here, you could do that. So here's a couple, those are a couple of options that I see that you could use. So hopefully this is helpful to you. I'm going to end my video here, and I'm going to post it on YouTube so others might benefit from this also. So it'll take a little bit for it to appear, but I will post it in your Facebook post.